Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of January 22nd through January 26th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list. We'll also talk about additional income opportunities using dividend payers and several option strategies. And hopefully we'll have time to continue our series on how to trade biotech stocks as well. So a lot to cover. So let's get started. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of January 22nd through January 26th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes contain links to bonus videos, tools, and resources we use for selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled the January Effect 2024, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas for the trading week of January 22nd through January 26th. We keep all of our notes for our weekly trading game plans also in publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weeks, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome, free information, Douglas PC, Brian Moritz, John, thank you all for joining us in the live chat today. Hope you all are doing well, keeping warm. So first we'll go over some of our trade updates for last week. Welcome also Easy Mike, the Ricky Khan, the Crow. Thank you all for joining us. So we had several trades. I'll quickly go over those and then we'll look at those trades in Webull. So the first is land. Hopefully you're familiar with land. It's a REIT on farmland. We've traded land off and on several times profitably over the past several years, and we went long on land again on January 19th. It goes ex-dividend on Monday, so really that was the last day to get their 5-cent dividend. We got in at 13.41. We'll trade that up, swing that up again, and try to make profit on land again. Again, we trade land more for price appreciation than for their 5-cent a month dividend, but hey, we'll take it while we wait for it to swing back up. The other one we talked about, we looked at the futures on palladium yesterday. We saw palladium kind of made a tweezer bottom. Hopefully it'll be swinging back up. So we went long palladium using the PALL ETF on the 17th, so we got in at 85.26. Probably didn't catch the very bottom, but near that bottom, that tweezer bottom on palladium. Also, we went long on the short on the technology sector, so TECS is the 3x leverage short on the overall technology sector. We got in on the 18th after TECL, which is the 3x long on the technology sector, had made a new 52-week high. So we shorted that at that time. Didn't really expect that overly exuberant run on Friday. So obviously we're down a little bit on TECS, although we saw yesterday that those runs in TECL and SOXL seem to be pretty exaggerated moves. So we'll just wait for a retracement, a correction in TECL, and then we'll take our profits in TECS and rinse and repeat. So you can hear more about our strategies for trading TECL and TECS and why we like that as a broad short on the technology sector via the link to the bonus video here in our notes. And thank you again to the Crow for turning us on to TECS. I really like that one as a good way to short the broad technology sector. So you can hear more about our strategies, thesis, price targets on all these stocks in our game plans from last week. Also, just a quick reminder, although I don't recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, if you would like to get notified when we enter or exit a trade, you can get email notifications of that, as well as notifications in our Discord by joining any level of our Patreon. And I'll show you a couple alerts channels we have in our Discord where those alerts also appear. So as soon as I enter or exit a trade, I post those to our Patreon members. You'll get email notification. Also, a couple channels we have in our Discord available to our Patreon members. The first is a Thinkorswim price alerts channel. So I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to this Thinkorswim channel. So you can see when land reached our target price. I got that price alert. Then if I follow that up with an actual trade, I'll reply to that price alert in the Thinkorswim channel so you can see where we went long on land on the 19th. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim alert, then I would just post that into the trade alerts channel on our Discord. We also have a channel with real-time alerts, and we've talked about that a little bit past couple weeks. So I have automated systems that post alerts to that alerts channel when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. Great way to identify breakouts, sector rotations, etc. And also if they're near our buy price, so you can hear more about that, how to get alerted when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. via the bonus link in our notes. And we'll hopefully have time to talk more about that, but I'd love to also get your feedback about what else you would like to see in this alerts channel. And that alerts channel is accessible to our all access and VIP Patreons. And again, it's near real time, and you can see, as things are moving up, breaking out. So when oil is breaking out on Friday, etc., we're getting, real time alerts. Again, great way to see trends, sector rotations, etc. So again, I hope that all helps. Okay, so I'll jump over to Webull real quickly. We'll look at those trades. So here's my trades for the week. We can look at the stock charts for land. So if I zoom in, see on the 19th when it kind of bottomed, there tends to be support levels in land at like 1371, 1351. I think I got in at 1341. So I was watching the level 2, seeing where they were building up support. And I kind of wanted to get in again before their ex-dividend date. So you can see, hopefully land is starting a swing back up. It will dip a little bit, on the 5-cent dividend on the 22nd. So second one is Palladium, PAL. We got in on the 17th at 85.26. So there's the 17th. So I didn't quite catch the bottom, but we can see it, just dip down and looks like it's starting to slowly swing back up. Got, plenty of upside. The previous peak was into the, 115s or so. So we'll, move our stop manually. We'll trail it with a stop. I already got a pretty much break-even stop in there, and we'll manually trail it up. We'll see if it can break that previous high and swing much higher. TECS, again, I got in just probably a little early. If our Patreon members got that alert, you might have been able to get a cheaper price on TECS. So I got in on the 18th at 955. So you can see it was, basing at that support level, looked like a pretty good support, expected a retracement after TECL hit its new 52-week high, and then we got that SMCI positive news, Taiwan Semiconductor positive news, and that drove TECL way up. So again, TECS is down, but we expect a retracement And again, it goes up to, the previous high was around 1150, 1148. So again, I'll wait for that to get profitable, manually trail that with a stop when we get that correction in the technology sector. Okay. So let me grab a quick drink and then we'll look at our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 75 free fractional shares of stock worth $3,000 to $3,000 each by opening and funding an account with 25K or more. And if you fund it with less than 25K, you can get up to 20 free fractional shares. Again, each worth $3,000 to $3,000. You can see we use Webull for our market analysis, our due diligence, the majority of our trading. And if you'd use our affiliate link in the description box below, you can get your free fractional shares and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. Welcome, Sydney Osborne. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. I'll go through the list, go through the changes to our watch list, and then we'll also review our watch list Google Sheet and these charts in Webull. So the first one on our watch list is APLY. We put that on the watch list a week or so ago, expecting, Apple was declining, and we were looking for an opportunity to collect dividends, collect some rebound in Apple. I didn't catch that bottom. Hopefully, maybe some of you caught the bottom before Apple rebounded. As we could see, it recently turned back up, so we may have missed that opportunity. But that's one way to earn some nice dividends on Apple. You can hear our thesis of using the yield max ETFs and our view on those, and also specifically on APLY, what we're looking for via the bonus link to this video in our notes. Again, if Apple continues to trend up, we'll take this off for some time and look for other opportunities to use APLY to collect larger dividends on Apple. And take FAZ out of our watch list. The financial market didn't really pop the way I thought it might on the big bank earnings. Both FAZ, FAS are kind of in the middle of their range. Might be short-term opportunities for shorter-term day traders with FAS and FAZ. FAZ is the short on financials, FAS the long, and you can hear our thesis on using those to trade the financial sector via the link in the notes. Going to watch FANGD. Again, yesterday we looked at the technology component sectors, and we saw, Friday we got a major rotation into the MAG 7. There isn't a short ETF on the MAG 7, but we can short the FANGs, which again is the majority of the legacy MAG 7 using FANGD. So again, if FANGU makes a top again, then we would look to short the FANG stocks using FANGD. Also, we saw the biotech sector's been pretty much declining. I believe several of our BeachBum traders caught that decline and been making good money on LABD. So, raise your hand if you were one of the traders that caught that decline with LABD. I probably missed it. It looks like it's steadily declining. We'll see if we get a knee-jerk reaction pop back up in LabU. If so, again, I would look to short with LabD. You could catch that bounce with LabU. So again, short-term trades opportunities with LabU and LabD on biotechs. Talked about land. So if you're not already long land, again, it's going to go ex-dividend on Monday, but it's only a 5-cent dividend. So I think there's still good price appreciation to be had in land. You can still get a good price. It's not run away too much. So I'm taking it off our watch list, but it might be something that might be of interest to some of our BeachBum traders. Same way with PALL. Hasn't run too much. It's up a little bit. So if you still want to get into palladium to try to ride that trend back up, there's probably still some opportunities there. SIJ is the short on the industrial sector, so we're watching XLI. I think it was XLI was about 112 or so. We'll look at the charts in Webull in a second, but I'm looking for another top 52-week high on XLI, and if so, we'll short industrials with SIJ. Again, I think there's good profitable opportunities with shorting these 52-week highs and getting some profit out of the sector rotation. So when they rotate out of technology, we can short technology. When they rotate back into technology and out of industrials, so we can short the industrials. So I think that's where some good opportunities are to play these sector rotations with some of these shorting ETFs. Again, semiconductors, shorting semiconductors with SOX-S. So again, we saw that exuberant run. I'm less willing to get in front of the NVIDIA AMD bus right now, but it was a pretty exuberant run. When that rolls over and retraces, opportunities with SOX-S. Again, trade semiconductors long, look for the top in SOX-L to determine entry point SOX-S. And you can hear how we use those to trade semiconductors via that video in our notes. Talked about TECS. Again, I'm already long TECS. I kind of left it on the watch list. There's opportunities for other BeachBum traders to get in cheaper. Just wait for that top in TECL. If you catch that rollover, there's opportunity to get in cheaper with TECS. And you can hear more about our thesis with using TECL and TECS. Also look at the constituents of that those ETFs via the link, bonus link to our video in the notes. Also last week, we added the yield max on Tesla, which is TSLY. So it went ex-dividend on the 5th. Again, we're looking, Tesla has been declining, so we're kind of waiting for a bottom support in Tesla to go long on TSLY, again, collect a large, significant dividend on TSLY, on Tesla using TSLY. And we'll look at TSLY and APLY when we get to our dividend payers Google Sheet as well. Still got USOI, which is the monthly dividend paying ETF on oil. Just oil's been bouncing around between 70 and 75. If we do get a decline in oil, it dips below 70 again. I would take a long in USOI. It just went ex-dividend on the 19th, so we missed the monthly dividend for January. But again, if oil dips below 70, we'll jump into USOI and hold on, ride one of these cycles in oil up and collect some dividends with USOI. So again, now we've got a new Google Sheet with our watch lists. So I will open that up and we can take a quick look at that. And then we'll also look at the charts for our top swing trading stocks to watch. Again, if you'd like to see our current watch list, get automated updates that includes our price targets, etc. You'll see the data we have in our Google Sheet. It's got our watch list, our bullpen, also our shopping list, some screeners, etc. And you can get access to that Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at any level. You can hear more about how you can use our watch list Google Sheet to watch their top swing trading stocks via the bonus links and to these videos here in our notes. And we'd love to hear your feedback about how we can improve that Google Sheet to make it more valuable for all of our Patreon members. So let us know what how we can enhance that to make it more valuable. So here's our main watch list Google Sheet. So you can see the stocks in our watch list, current price, etc. Via the Google Finance functions, our price targets for buy and sell. You see if it's going up or going down. The current risk reward, the 52-week risk reward. We've also got earnings information, dividend, ex-dividend date, their yield percentage, whether they're optional, etc. And that's true also for our bullpen and our shopping list stocks. Also, something we added that I pointed out yesterday for our ETFs Google Sheet is we also added a screener in the Screeners tab to the major indices. So now you can also watch the major indices in FinViz via that major indices screener, which I showed yesterday. So again, kind of Google Sheet's a one-stop shop to watch all the stocks, sectors, and the various screeners, etc. So I hope that helps. Finally, if I do make any changes after that Google Sheet has been updated at the end of each day, we have a channel in our Discord also available to our Patreon members where I would post any subsequent changes to our watch list. So you see, I got an alert that Palladium had hit its 52-week low on the 17th. So we added that to our watch list on the 17th. And you can see I subsequently actually took that trade. So if I make those updates to our watch list, I'll post it in the Stocks Watch List channel in our Discord. And again, that's accessible to all of our Patreon members. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll go through the charts in for our top swing trading stocks to watch in Webull. Thank you for the positive feedback, Easy Mike. I appreciate it. So again, the stock we have in our watch list is APLY, which is the yield max dividend payer on Apple. So I watch Apple for a bottomer support. Again, I was kind of waiting for Apple to get down. I think it was 174-ish or so. I actually had a buyout on APLY at 1781 or 82. It didn't get hit, and then we saw Apple turn around. They got an upgrade, and Thursday, Friday, Apple started trending back up. They've had more downgrades than upgrades, so we'll see if it comes back down. Otherwise, we'll let it go. Talked about the FANGDs, so again, watching for a top, a new 52-week high on FANGU. It looks like it just made one. So opportunities to short the FANGs using FANGD. Similarly with biotechs, LabU. So again, LabU's been downtrending. Again, right now it's downtrending. But if it were to turn around and spike back up, I'd be more interested in a short with LABD. You can get short-term trade the bounce with LabU. Talked about semiconductors. So see, Soxol made a new 52-week high. Again, very exuberant run right now. Once that peaks out and rolls over, opportunities to short semiconductors with SOXS. So we're already in shorting technology with TECS. Tesla, watching Tesla for the bottom. Again, I'm looking this 194-ish area. See if Tesla comes down to that area. If so, that would be a pretty good support area to go long on TSLY. Or SIJ, which is the short on the XLI industrial sector. Again, looks like it's trending back up. We might get that sector rotation back into industrials out of technology. If it approaches that high again, then we'd look to short industrials with SIJ. And then again, USOI is the monthly dividend payer on oil. You see it's just kind of oscillating right now in the middle of a range. So now we'll look at our bullpen stocks. Again, if you're new to our community, the concept of the bullpen stocks are stocks I in the past didn't really watch real time. They don't necessarily have the setup I would like right now, but they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen. I generally revisit them at the end of the day. If their setup has improved, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they run away or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can always revisit them later. So we'll go through the list, and then we can look in our Google Sheet and also their charts. So the first one we've had in our bullpen for a little while is small cap electronic components company. You can hear our quick take due diligence on CPSH via the link to the video in the notes, and also on our BeachBum trading channel. Going to take GDXD out of our bullpen. GDXD is a short on gold. Gold's broken down, just kind of hovering around the 2000 level. We can always watch this in our ETF Google Sheet. You can also hear our evaluation of the various ETFs short gold, so I can always keep an eye on that. In our ETF Google Sheet, if gold does happen to go back up to its recent all-time highs, then we can always take that opportunity. You can always long gold if it bounces with GDXU. Again, you can see all of those and track them in our ETF Google Sheet. Last week, we added LXU, which is a chemical basic materials company. You can see our quick take due diligence on LXU via the link to the bonus video in our notes. One I'm adding this week, and we briefly talked about yesterday, Easy Mike mentioned potash. We took a look at Mosaic, is one of the stocks we have in our ETFs Google Sheet to possibly trade potash, and that looks potentially attractive. So we'll see. We saw yesterday it's kind of been declining, so when it bottoms and swings back up, we might take an opportunity in Mosaic. The other one we talked about yesterday and took a look at is this REMX, VANEC Rare Earth Strategic Metals. So again, in part one, we looked at it in our ETF Google sheet, and it looks potentially attractive. Again, right now it's been declining, negative sentiment and lithium, rare earths, etc. But the longer term positive thesis in those areas. So we'll wait for REMX to bottom and swing back up. So again, we'll look at those charts in Webull. Again, we have a bullpen tab in our Google sheet, so you can also track these in near real time. You can see our price targets, etc., for our bullpen stocks. Again, now I can track those in more real time in our Google sheet. So, and we can see where the ones that have a positive risk reward right now. So again, I could just, I'm on the online browser version of Webull. Again, you can have all kinds of different watch lists, so it's easy to flip over. I've got my bullpen watch list. I can very quickly scroll through all of our bullpen stocks, see if their setup says improved. So here's CPSH. Again, it's just kind of basing. Just slowly, this is a illiquid, low float, small cap type stock. It seems to be, just kind of continuing to chop around. So might take an opportunity in that one of these days. But again, it looks a little tricky. Another note about that PALL, it's pretty choppy as well. So it's a little tricky to trade. So just be aware it chops around. I had to kind of lead that order and let it hit. It's again, pretty choppy. It's a hard one to trade. Here's LXU, again, that chemical company. Again, we can see it's, been downtrending pretty steeply. If it finds a bottom and starts to swing back up, then, we can put that in the game and move it up to our top swing trading stocks to watch. Mosaic, very similar. Again, been downtrending. Again, all these agricultural inputs, pretty much negative sentiment right now. Seasonality is negative. Going into the spring, I think it's going to be a better opportunity for the agricultural chemicals as well. And we talked about REMX, the rare earth strategic metals, yesterday as well. Sees pretty steeply downtrending. We just want to see it catch a bottom and then swing back up. And we see it's got plenty of upside both in the short term and then more so in the longer term. Good morning, MD, Flip of the Shippa, Ellen Krantz, Walter Lyons. If I missed anybody, thank you all for joining us. Hope you all are doing well. So I had one more, got an honorable mention. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about another one I found that might be potentially interesting to some of our BeachBum traders. So we'll do a quick due diligence on this one I found, CRT, Cross Timbers Royalty Trust. It looks like a nice dividend payers, and we'll also look at it in our dividend payers in a second. Okay, again, the CRT, Cross Timbers Royalty Trust, popped up in one of my queries, and I thought it looked potentially interesting, so we'll take a look at it. You can see it's an energy, oil and gas, E&P stock, so we'll bring up FinBiz. just a quick reminder, you can find links to the tools we use, frequently use, in the link section on our home page. So I can easily get to my link on FinViz. Again, in the link section on our home page. Our home page is beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So here's this Cross Timbers Royalty Trust. It's energy, oil and gas, so it might be an interesting way to play oil and gas. We can see it's a monthly dividend payer, pays about a 14-15% monthly dividend. See, it's declining right now. We see previously, down bottom at 14, probably when oil broke down, below 70. I think oil went down to about 67.55, so that's probably the low. See, it's got a nominal yield of 11.48. It's not optionable. We'll look at the actual performance when we get in our dividend payers as well. You can see this is a trust. It holds 90% net profit interest in producing and non-producing royalty properties in Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, 75% net profit interest in, again, more properties in Texas, Oklahoma. So it looks like it's a royalty trust on, oil and gas. So I kind of like that concept, a nice way to play, oil price, get paid a monthly dividend. We zoom out a little bit. We see it's got upside into the low 30s. So if it continues to decline, when oil declines, this might be one to buy. If oil breaks down below 70, this might be another nice dividend payer to buy to play those cycles in oil. So I thought that might be interesting to some of our BeachBum traders. And again, we'll look at dividend information, dividend yield information for CRT and our dividend payers Google Sheet as well in a few moments. So let me know what you think of that. If anyone's traded CRT before, please let us know your experience, your thoughts on CRT as well. So our shopping list stocks, again, we always recommend you have your shopping list ready. If you get a irrational reaction on earnings, we get a dip in the markets, have your list of stocks that you want to buy ready to take advantage of those opportunities. Again, we always recommend you stay away from zombie stocks, zombie companies, zombie ETFs. And again, you can hear what those terms mean. What do I mean by those via the links to our videos and our notes. Now again, you can see our list of shopping list stocks in the shop list tab in our Google Sheet. So some of these, again, I keep in there as they've in the past had irrational reactions to earnings, like Bud, Cody, IBM, etc. Some themes we like uranium. I've got DNN in there. You can see some of the REITs, Land, LTC, Stag. Some of these, we have traded these profitably before. So also see MP, which is also a constituent in that REMX. You can see it's declining as well. Some of the mega caps, Amazon, track those as well. JPQ, always looking for opportunities to get into those as well. So again, now you can track my shopping list in the shop list tab in our Google Sheet as well. Okay, so now we'll jump over to our dividend payers Google Sheet. So dividend payers is another great way to generate income while you're waiting for your swing trading stocks to set up. Also, with the market being, pretty expensive, or you're waiting for good value buys, waiting for your shopping list stocks to become attractive, you can generate income by collecting dividends. and you can hear our strategies. We have a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to help you generate a schedule, select the dividend payers that fit your risk reward, your income schedule, and you can get access, 24/7 access to our dividend payers, as well as our ETFs and our puts ROIC options Google Sheets by joining our Patreon at the All Access and VIP level. I don't have any changes other really to the dividend payers Google Sheet this week. So if anybody in the chat has a dividend payer you want to look at specifically, you can throw those tickers up in the chat. We can look at those. I do want to look at that CTR or CRT. So here's CRT. That's that royalty trust we just looked at. So it's oil and gas. We can see it pays a 14-cent dividend. Last ex-dividend was $12.28. It's a monthly dividend. So the next ex-dividend is probably coming up soon. See, again, it's got a nominal yield of about 11.3. We see its yearly performance. It's been negative, so it had a negative 23% performance this year. So that gives us a net right now. It's negative, but it's got some potential price appreciation. So we see, better than 2-to-1 risk reward profile for a 52-week. About even higher. So it's got an attractive risk reward profile right now. So again, if we get a dip in oil down around 70, again, CRT might be another dividend payer you want to look at in addition to USOI. So you could compare that to USOI, which is, the one we've used in the past. So you can see it's got a 25% yield. It's got a positive net yield and price appreciation. So, and it's an 84-cent monthly dividend. So, but again, it's a 52-week risk reward's not as high. So the level of price appreciation isn't quite as high as CRT, but again, the yield so far has been better. So again, you can compare those and see which one is more attractive. So we talked about APLY. So again, here you can see APLY. It's up a little bit. You see the current risk reward profile of APLY doesn't have a whole lot of price appreciation. So we really want to, catch a dip in Apple, but you can see it pays a 56-cent monthly dividend. It's got a positive net yield. So even though Apple's been, was declining. Look at TSLY. Talked about that one as well. So here's TSLY. You can see it's got an attractive risk reward profile, 56-cent dividend. You can see its current risk reward profile is pretty good, almost a 2-to-1. Almost a 2-to-1 52 weeks. So again, if we get a bottom support level in Tesla, we wouldn't mind collecting that 56 cents a month. And it's got a positive net yield, pretty good, price appreciation potential since Tesla's declined some. So again, those are the two of the yield max that we're currently looking at. I did briefly glance. We saw ARK-K has been declining. So the yield max on ARK-K is OARK. So you can take a look at that. Again, the risk reward wasn't quite as attractive. There's still plenty of downside in ARK-K. So if ARK-K bottoms, then we might be interested in OARK as well. Easy Mike is pointing out AGNC. So AGNC is a mortgage-backed REIT. We've looked at and talked about this, several times. I'm not a fan of mortgage-backed REITs at this time, but again, you can find that in our dividend payers Google Sheet. See, it pays a 12-cent monthly, does have positive net yield, positive adjusted yield. So again, you can see the risk reward profile for that in the dividend payers. See the land. So here's the risk reward on land. See, it's got a negative. It's been downtrending this year. So it's the dividend itself is not why we generally buy land. We buy it for price appreciation. So you can again see the potential risk reward profile on land. Again, short-term swings, short-term scalps. Collect the dividend while you swing it back up. Stay away from MPW due to their issues. O is not currently attractive. It's realty income. See REMX, so it has paid a dividend in the past, but looks like it's like an annual or special dividend. SAR is a common, attractive one for some people. JEPI and JEPQ we watch. So again, they're kind of, risk reward profile on those isn't the greatest. Markets are very high right now. TLTW is the monthly dividend payers on TLT. We've been kind of looking at that. TLT's been declining, so we're kind of keeping an eye on that. You could see the yield, the net yield on that, not too bad, 7%. So if TLT keeps declining, we might be interested in TLTW again. Talk about TSLY. So again, if anybody else has another dividend payer, NVIDIA Y, Ricky Khan's talking about NVDY, which is again the yield max on NVIDIA. I don't know if we have it in our main sheet. NVDY, I don't have NVDY in the main sheet. See if we've done the analysis on it. I think it's a relatively new one. So again, you can also find additional research we've done in the add tab in the dividend payers Google sheet. So you can see the risk reward profile for NVDY there on the add tab. So again, I would have to manually update some of the data in there as it's only as per the last time we took a look at that. So maybe that's one we should move up. I'll take a look at that and see if we should move that up to our main sheet, Ricky. Okay. So again, if anybody else has another dividend pair you want to take a look at, you can let us know. Otherwise, I'm going to jump ahead, grab a drink, and we'll talk about it very quickly about our option strategies. Welcome, Gunny Texan. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so another set of strategies we use to generate additional income is several option strategies. So we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're going down. We sell puts when things are going down, buy them back when they're going back up. Here you can see our criteria for selling puts, and we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to help us select opportunities to sell puts and then when to buy them back. And again, you can get access to this puts ROIC Google Sheet also by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. I don't have any real changes to this puts ROIC Google Sheet this week. You can hear how we've developed and how you can use this Google Sheet to help you identify opportunities to sell and buy back puts via the whole series of videos, option strategies for beginners with examples on our YouTube channel. We also have other videos on how to make money trading options in our options playlist. Again, VIX is pretty low. Premiums haven't been all that attractive, but you can track the potential ROIC for various opportunities. Here's our main watch list. They're green when the stock's going down, saying, hey, there's opportunity to sell a put. Red when it's going back up. So if we've sold it, looking to buy it back. So again, this is automatically updated at the end of each day by our automated systems. So again, not a whole lot of ROIC in the main watch list. There is a few. You can see the ROICs for some of them in the research tab. So you can see Albemarle, API, which is auto parts, starting to get potentially attractive. As those stocks have been declined, Mosaic, watching that. One I do have a sell out on right now is on UAL at 33 strike. So I had that sell out at 490. So you can see it would pay 7% at that 490 level. So again, it kind of fits our criteria. This is for a January 25 strike. So not typically, I don't like to typically sell them out that far. So this is somewhat of an experiment to see if we can scalp these cash secured puts profitably. But again, it's got to be over 5%. Otherwise, I'm making 5% just having my cash sit in a money market. So you can see some of the others, if they continue to appreciate in terms of their puts, they might become attractive. So again, you can track these in our puts ROIC Google Sheet, and I'll continue to provide updates as we see opportunities to do so. Okay, so I really wanted to get to our series on, to continue our series on how to trade biotech stocks. So we've done a couple portions of this. This was initiated when Carmen asked, about a particular biotech stock, and then over the past couple of weeks, we've been building out my experience, my philosophy on how to trade biotech stocks. So you can hear the previous episodes via the links, bonus links in our notes. Last week, I kind of ran out of time in terms of going into some of the details in terms of how to calculate the quarter's cash flow positive. So you can see the formulation of that. Hopefully, I could take a few minutes and we'll talk through that. And then also, I have developed a quick Google Sheet with this data. So it's called Biotech Due Diligence. So it's the start of a due diligence Google Sheet for biotechs. And I put this data in there. So we'll go over what this data means, and then we can look at some examples, some case studies using that biotech due diligence Google Sheet. So, and again, you can get access to this biotech Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at the all access or VIP level, and then you can make a copy of it and use it to do your own due diligence on biotechs. It's got these formulas plugged in, etc. So again, one of the major metrics I use in terms of evaluating the health of a biotech is quarters cash flow positive. So essentially, given their current cash burn, how many quarters is it going to be till they run out of money? Because when they do run out of money, then you're going to be at risk of further dilution, right? They're going to have to either offer more shares, reverse split and then offer more shares, or they're going to have to liquidate something, get in more, add more debt, something that could negatively impact your stock price. So again, this will tell you, okay, how many quarters do you have for them to be cash flow positive? And then if you know what their catalyst, their pipeline looks like, are they going to be able to make it through their next trial, get to their next catalyst before they run out of money? So you can see in the notes the components that go into calculating the quarters of cash flow positive. I pulled this out of my old code that I used to calculate that metric and then store that metric in our database. So you can see it is quarters is cash on hand divided by free cash flow, and you can get cash on hand by cash and cash equivalents or cash and short-term investments from the balance sheet. So I'll show you an example in FinBiz how we can get these data points. Free cash flow. Sometimes you can find, again, this in their cash statement. So if you can't find a free cash flow number, then you can add up the cash flow from investing, total cash flow from investing, plus their cash flow from operations, or total cash flow from operations. So to get this data, you again have to go to their financial statements. So let's just take that BIVI as an example. So on FinViz, if you just enter a stock in FinViz and you go to the bottom, you can see their financial statements. We can get to their most recent financial statement by hitting the quarterly tab. Then if I want to get the total cash flow from their, or cash and short-term investments, cash on hand from their balance sheet. So here's their balance sheet. So cash and short-term investments. So I can take that number. You'll see in our Biotech DD new Google sheet, I plugged that number in. So again, here you can see I'm doing the calculation for the quarter's free cash flow. Here's their cash on hand that I just got from the balance sheet. If I can find the total cash flow from their cash flow statement, so we jump over to the cash flow statement in FinViz, go look for their total free cash flow. So here's their free cash flow. Again, it's going to be generally negative for these biotechs, or again, you can use this for any money losing company. So it's not just biotechs. You could use this Google sheet to find the health of any money losing, like penny stocks, any money losing stock. So we plug in their free cash flow into the free cash flow number, and then we take the cash on hand divided by the free cash flow, and that will get us the quarters of free cash flow positive. So in the case of this BIV, we can see they've got less than 2 quarters of cash flow positive. So as you can see, my rating scale is that if it's below 4 or if it's below 2, it's very low. And so what I've done is highlighted anybody with quarters free cash flow below 2 is highlighted in red. So it says very low. If they're greater than 8, that would be high. And I've highlighted those in a green, and anybody in between is just no highlighting. So the 3 we've looked at recently is BIVI. You can see it's below 2 quarters of cash flow positive. So that would be a warning sign to me. Now, again, the next question is, when's their next catalyst? Do they have shelf offerings? Have they already done an offering? but they're either going to have to decrease their free cash flow burn, their cash burn, or increase their cash on hand to survive, more than a couple quarters. The other two we've recently looked at is ALT, Altimmune. You can see it's got almost 7 quarters of positive cash flow, so it's okay, relatively healthy. And then this AQST we looked at last week, and they've got almost 10 quarters of free cash flow available. So that looks very healthy, very attractive. That one's okay. That is a red flag, right? So again, I hope this all helps. Again, you can, if you join our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level, you can make a copy of this Google Sheet, use it to do further due diligence on, again, biotechs or, again, any money-losing company. You're going to want to know, how many quarters have they got? Are they going to be able to survive before they have to do further offerings or add debt? Both of which can negatively impact your stock price. So again, I'd love your feedback on what else you would like to see in this Biotech DD Google Sheet. What would you find helpful? Please put it in the comments. You can always give us suggestions in our Discord. Other than the few channels I mentioned, our Discord's free to join. Got a suggestion box in our Discord. You can find links, free invite to our Discord in the description box below. Also on our homepage in the links section under our social media, you can find a link or invite to our Discord, as well as links to our other social media sites. So if you have suggestions, questions, if you'd like us to look at individual stocks, please let us know. We'll do what we can. And again, we'd always love your feedback on anything we could do to improve our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, our community, etc., to help you succeed in your trading, help you succeed in your trading career, make money trading, and to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. So again, let us know your feedback and what we could do to help you succeed. And we appreciate everyone that joined us in the live chat today and who watched the video. We hope you like this content. We hope you'll smash the like button. Help us try to get the YouTube algorithm to share our content with more traders around the world. We'd also appreciate it if you directly share our content and our channel and invite your fellow traders to join us. We want to continue to build our BeachBum trading community for the benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. So if you're not already subscribed, we hope you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum trading channel and click the bell icon to be notified as we release further content. We typically release something almost every day, and we hope you'll come back next week to join us for our weekly trading game plans, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday and Sunday, where we do our market analysis, etc., and then select all of our top swing trading stocks to watch. So thank you again for your participation and support, and we hope you have a great trading week.